I picked up my first broadside probably in grad school, and I was in love with it. The tactile quality, the way the ink of the letters interacted with the texture of the paper, you could feel it. So that was kind of my first introduction to letterpress processes. I got curious about it, and then it was the sort of thing that, like, here's a thing that I know about and there's nothing I can do about it because there's nowhere for me to do this. And it kind of went away for a while, and then the art department at my school had an 1896 Chandler and Price clamshell press that they weren't going to use anymore, and wanted to know if I'd be interested in something like that because I was the bookmaking guy. And of course I was, and that kind of re-energized my interest in the field. I knew about it, but I didn't know much about it. But still, if somebody comes up to me and says, hey, do you want this press? I'm gonna figure out a way to say yes, and then deal with the consequences, and in this case, involved dragging a friend of mine into it. One, I needed somebody to help me move the thing because it weighs 1,000 pounds, but I also needed a place to put it because, my studio here is upstairs and this thing weighs 1,000 pounds. I'm not going to move it upstairs and then have it crash to the floor. And he had a garage, a spare garage. So we started remodeling the garage. We gutted it and then moved this press in. And still haven't really produced anything on it because we don't know how. So this is the long way to go to learn how to use that thing. Some friends of mine give me a hard time, like, you could have just taken a class in letterpress somewhere. You didn't have to create a whole, building and organization and go through all this work, but that's been part of the fun because I can't just go take a class somewhere. Luckily, along comes Bethany, who is trained in this and worked at Hatch Show Print, and this is her profession, this is her passion. What that process revealed was that there was a lack in the region of training and access to this stuff. The schools were getting rid of them, and the schools were the only places that you could go to learn how to do this stuff. The more I learn about it, the more I like it. All those process-based arts, it's just such a rewarding way to spend many, many hours doing meticulous things. But once I learn how to do it, then I want to do it. So having that ongoing access is also something that we're very excited to offer to the community, not just to learn how to do it, but continued access to the means to do it is something that I think is unique to our contribution to the community.